Hi, I'm the Urban Girl.
And I am the Shiksa.
And we're dressed up tonight because it's evening. This is our evening attire. You look beautiful.
Oh, you look so lovely.
I got my bugle. You know, you gave me this jacket.
I did, of course.
Yes.
I remember that.
You didn't like it?
No, it was back in 1961, wasn't it?
Yes, when I was, let's see, 4?
No, I think you were still an embryo.
But I grew into it, and actually looks pretty nice.
And one of the reasons why we look so charming tonight is all the blog responses that we got back to the previous video said wonderful things, but nobody said to us what all of our friends said privately is...
You look so old.
Why didn't you get better lighting?
My niece, who's 17, said to me, well, you're so funny, and it's so great, but, oh, the lighting is so bad. And I wanted to say to her, I don't think the lighting is really the issue. Although we have moved all the lamps around 12 times now to make sure that we both look. How do you look?
You look wonderful. Not like you were an embryo at 61
You
at all.
know, Barbara Bush had all those pearls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, really
That's
hard.
what I forgot. Oh, wait a minute. I'll be right back.
I'm coming back. So while she's gone, I want to just share with you, we want to thank everybody who didn't post on Facebook that you look just terrible and that our friends came to us privately. Oh, look at her.
You know it's 90 degrees outside? Okay.
Hi.
Yeah, okay, so we're still rolling.
Hi.
Okay, so let's talk about what
we have to do that a lot. Okay, yes.
Okay. I don't have anything to do with it. No, it's just Tourette's. Okay.
Good evening.
So let's talk about wrinkles and getting older and what it means to be a woman in our society. How is it to be an older woman?
I think it's very
both older women
complex. We all knew it was coming, and yet when we arrive, it's like, what happened?
It was shocking, wasn't it?
It was shocking.
And all of a sudden, you look in the mirror, and you know, I said to Candace that one of the things that's so funny to me about this is that the best moment for me in the day, almost, is when I get out of the shower. It's really steamy in the bathroom, and for about 15 minutes, everything is like puffed up.
Yes.
There are no lines on your face, so you put on your makeup and you leave the bathroom, and then about 5 hours later, you come back in and you think, oh my God! What the hell happened?
But the only exception to this is that I noticed, not that there's many mirrors in the Sierras, being out backpacking for 4 or 5 days, no makeup, but all nature, suddenly the lines are not as horrendous as in the city.
Why is that?
Because of the owls and the bears.
And you don't care anymore?
And you don't care anymore.
And you're more relaxed?
Way relaxed. All of it just lets go. But we live in a city. We live in Los Angeles.
So talk about the clerk in the...
Oh.
The story is that, you know, you have a feeling that you really are really vital, and you are vital internally. But then you walk up to the checkout counter and you know that from a distance, you look really good. You're fit, you're going to yoga, you're taking care of yourself, and then what happens?
The person behind the counter from a distance still thought you were of childbearing age and still in the game and is smiling. And as you get closer, it's like, oh, that's someone who's my mom's age, or that's someone who's my grandma's age, and it goes from, hi, may I help you?
He becomes our mirror.
Yes.
And then if you don't have a strong sense of self, you can either laugh at it, or it really is painful in that moment because he's taken away your youth, and you didn't ask him to do that.
And that place that you said about you could do this or you could do that, for me it took about 3 or 4 years to be able to go, oh, okay, it's not that the outside's a mirror anymore. When you're younger, you think that's always going to be there. It's my inside, who I am, why I'm at Home Depot. What I came here for wasn't to be smiled at, it was to go get the new faucet. But it becomes second nature when you're used to be greeted like, hi.
You know, when I was shopping in Barney's, where I don't usually shop, And this guy came up to me who was one of the reps for one of the cosmetic companies, and he literally walked up to me and said, "So those fine lines around your eyes." And I looked at him as if I did not understand what he was saying, and he looked at me as if, uh-oh, have I made a mistake? And I said, "What fine lines?" And he looked at me and was totally silent as I walked off. And I thought he was sweet and he was only doing his job. But where else would somebody point out? And you know, this is one of the things that really bugs me about all the people who work in makeup departments, is that they are trying to sell you something to make you look younger, which is fine if you're 25 and you want to be lubricated, but they're all 25.
Yes.
And there's a stage in your life where when they're trying to sell you something, you know that no matter what you put on your face,
you will never look.
you're not going to look 25. And they think that they're going to make a difference in your life.
Yeah.
And it's another one of those reminders that we have to be blocking all the time that we're getting older. And how does it feel to get older? And to be able to laugh at my niece saying, "Oh, the lighting has to be better."
And Dana and I are very busy in our private practices. We have all kinds of magazines in our separate waiting rooms. And when we were writing together, we found some very interesting research on women who read women's magazines become 70% more upset in the first 15 minutes than they felt all day because of that constant reflection. Even if you are 20 years old reading those magazines, you still are not airbrushed.
So what do we want you to do? We want you to feel good about yourself in a society that really undermines that. And it's really, really hard work. But if you don't, I think what happens is you come into that third act of your life and you're really going to court a terrible depression and feel like you're grieving the end of your life instead of being okay, welcoming a new phase in your life. And you know what? It's really tough.
And there's an interesting paradox here because this young woman, Lupita, who just won the Oscar,
Yeah.
she is doing a lot of press right now about discovering that although she wasn't looking like the people in the magazines, that she was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
There's an interesting place in there because she realizes that physically she's beautiful, but how she shares her story, who she is, what her evolution has been, you know she's also beautiful in here. And I think it's an interesting
So
line.
what a message that is if real, and it's not what we do, but if we could prepare younger women to have a well, you know, we talk about this all the time, but it's not happening in society. Is it happening in society?
Not yet.
It's not. It happens in society when a model drops dead, when some tragedy happens to a young woman that, oh, we should have been talking about women and how important it is for young women to have self-esteem. Well, guess what? It really is important for young women to have self-esteem and for those of us who are older.
And so when Dana and I talked about getting together tonight, we decided
we would dress up.
So we put on
In our
lipstick
finery.
and special scarves, and we're just feeling like we are hot.
And you know what? I'm having such a hot flash now.
Me
I've got to
too.
take it.
Okay, thanks for tuning
Bye.
in.
Bye.